other than the fact that I've got to plant things that I will eat because I love food, that every single
Right, I like to
thing
eat.
yeah, that I would plant this year would be a pollinator. It would either benefit bees, which we have bees on our farm for the very first time this year,
Oh, great.
butterflies or hummingbirds. This is not just a hummingbird plant, or pardon me, a butterfly bush. It is the sole source of breeding ground for the monarch butterfly. And
right.
if you have never had monarch butterflies in your backyard, ever, you didn't even know they existed in your area, here's the crazy thing. And it was this plant that was like a thump on the head to wake me up. I had never seen a monarch butterfly on my farm until last year. I planted this particular variety, and I don't know if butterflies have social media. The word got out. And Kelly,
there they were.
you've got to explain that to me. I wound up with monarch butterflies on my property by midsummer. And so I am making sure that I have as much of this as I can. This happens to be called Hello Yellow. And it's butterfly weed, which is the only plant that monarch butterflies will lay their eggs on. And it's a gorgeous, gorgeous plant. I don't have a lot of these to go around. I checked my inventory before the show. I want to walk back to my video screen where Kelly is set up. 826 is what we started with. We've now got 700.
Correct.
This particular plant, why is it the only one that monarch butterflies will lay their eggs in?
Well, the thing about monarchs is that they're pretty clever organisms. They're able to sort of detect, right? They, like you and I, know what foods we like. They know what foods they like too. And so it's really important to have plants like our Hello Yellow milkweed here in your garden, because that helps those little caterpillars that become those beautiful monarch butterflies have a nice little meal before they take off again in the fall and start heading south to do that return migration route, which we were talking about happens kind of in segments, right? It takes several generations to complete this wonderful sort of fragile, magical sort of life cycle that they have. And you can be part of that by planting something as simple and as beautiful, really, as this Hello Yellow milkweed.
To me, this is more than planting. Kelly, this is more than just personal self-satisfaction of having a gorgeous, gorgeous plant in your garden.
Yep.
This is a positive message to the future. Monarch butterflies, they weigh less than 2 ounces, but they start a migration that starts all the way back in March from either the western edge of California or central Mexico. And we broadcast out of Westchester, Pennsylvania, so we're a suburb of Philadelphia. These butterflies will fly all the way north to Canada, and the migrational routes are over 1,000 miles in length. So I don't know how they know how to do it, but something that Kelly had just mentioned, there is no single female monarch butterfly that makes the entire trip. They can only get so far in that flight before they will lay their eggs and expire, and the little caterpillars will go into their cocoon and come out as a monarch butterfly and somehow know where to go. I was joking with Kelly earlier, human babies are slackers. Right?
These little caterpillars are just wonderful, tough, tenacious creatures. I tell you, the beautiful thing about having butterflies in your yard is it helps you slow down, Dan. In this time where we're all kind of staying home and we're spending time in the garden, what a beautiful thing to have, to just cause you to sort of take a moment, get a cup of coffee, go out and just commune with the birds, the bees, the butterflies, and just sort of take time to sort of observe life's precious details like this. And I mentioned it when we talked about the grass, and I'll say it here again now. If you're looking at, you're sitting there, you're kind of putting the garden together, you're planting combinations, you're putting the garden to work here. Imagine taking that beautiful, steely, silver gray standing ovation grass we just talked about, and using that behind this kind of warm Hello Yellow butterfly milkweed, and that kind of modern contemporary color combination that you can feel good about, and you can know that it's doing something for the world. This isn't just simply gratuitous planting, right? This is something that's meaningful.
You and I are in the same choir. I didn't realize that. This is amazing. This is so much more than just planting. Every reaction, there will be every action creates another reaction. So when you plant this in your yard and you're getting 2 pieces. This tiny plant is actually a thriving plant. And these are perennials, so come back year after year after year, which means monarch butterflies will come back to your home year after year after year. It takes 4 complete generations for monarch butterflies to complete that entire migrational cycle of 1,000 miles. So imagine, if you will, by planting just these 2 bushes this summer, that it will be the great-great-grandchildren of the monarch butterfly that you see this year that return to your property 4 years later. And it's magical, and there's no other plant like it. Milkweed is what it's called, but this is actually so much more beautiful than traditional milkweed.
Oh, right. This is we didn't mention that, of course. You know, people probably, maybe they do. We've talked about milkweed before here at Cottage Farms and QVC over the last few years. Milkweed's often orange, right? This is a yellow selection. It's another color. It's great. It's go ahead and add this one with the oranges or the reddish ones that you already have. I do want to point out too, these are pretty tough plants altogether. You know, I've mentioned here before, my garden here in Des Moines, I have a big meadow in my front yard, and it is all on heavy clay. It frankly is, it's tough. It's a really tough site to garden on sometimes, even though I love my house and I love my garden. And I've got butterfly milkweed, both this variety and the others, in the meadow out front. And even from the plant you're holding in your hand right now, that you're about to show folks here, those are just so adaptable. They don't care about clay. They could care if it was sand. These are very adaptable plants. And I love that when a plant just gets to work no matter what you give it. And that's something to look forward to here with this Hello Yes.
On Easy Pay, you're looking at payments of $8.09. It's a little over $4 if you put it on a Q card. I do believe, again, this is the most significant plant in the program because it just pays forward with kindness to those butterflies. And do this for yourself, but do it knowing that you're doing something important. Kelly,
that's right.
Thank you for bringing them to us. There's only a few hundred of these remaining for the entire rest of the year.